is the highest priority of any game.
Yeah.
Like, that will be done absolutely first, before we get into any development or design with anything else in the update. And we got 3 different playable characters that I assume have different abilities and skills for their own uniqueness.
Every one of them, in a way, was able to fly. That was one of their things. 2 of them had the same abilities as Sonic in terms of this homing attack.
Yeah.
And one like Tails, he had no attack at all, actually. They start you out with him with no attack. They don't even let you know about that. You play as him, and he has no attack. You have to go run around the map, find the skill point people, and buy his attack.
Okay, that right there tells you that they ran out of time. That right there is telling you they did Tails last, and they realized, or not I say they, as in I say that the managers of the sprint managers, in charge of basically telling the developers and everyone like what you're doing for like that month. That was them realizing, oh shit, we are not going to have enough time because we have this due date coming up to make literally the rest of this update if we finish. If we do this. And it sounds like they took a small little chunk of work and said we could probably do without Tails as a normal attack, and we'll just make the players do something extra before they can use it.
Yeah.
Which is really, really bad. But if I was a Scrum Master in this situation where we realize that we are not going to have enough time for the rest of the project anymore, and we have 2 completely workable characters out of the 3 planned, with 1 still on its way, I probably would do something very similar. Like, I can't blame them for doing that, but I can blame them for not planning ahead properly for this.
So what about the part where all the characters had what they needed to make it through to their objective? There was a certain part where I was playing as Tails, where I got to a point where the game said, you gotta go over here. So I'm like, okay, I'm going over here. I went over there, and then the game basically did this. Tails got too tired from his ability of where he can fly. He can't go too high in the air. It basically gives him a little boost into the air, and then he just flies from there. It got to the point where Tails is too fucking low on the ground to actually make it to this part. He actually literally cannot make it unless you go get the 30 skill points from running around the map, finding the skill point people, to make it to this objective to get the broken flying ability that can let Tails just go anywhere. But you don't know you gotta do that until you get there. And even then, you gotta hope to figure that out.
I can straight up tell you that is a direct result to we just programmed and built this level and we didn't test it. Like I have seen other developers and designers do this exact thing, and I myself actually am guilty of this with the first project that I had worked on while at Full Sail University. What happened was I had built this adventure game level, which is actually on my portfolio as well. I had built this adventure game, and I built the level with all the mechanics and stuff that I designed and developed inside of it, and I tested the mechanics individually to be like, yeah, okay, the mechanics individually work. I, however, did not test the actual level. I tested the mechanics, I did not test the level, as I didn't prioritize that. And it's very easy to not prioritize that. And as a result, when I actually sent the level out to be graded, which if this wasn't for a school project, this would in turn be I sent the level out to the public for an official release.
Oh yeah.
I sent that out, and it was discovered after literally any playtime in the game that it was impossible to get past the first section.
Oh no.
It was an immediate soft lock.
That's no good.
Yeah. But I can tell you, if you run into something that obvious like that, there's just one explanation, and that's the fact that there has been no testing done.
It's either that, or they thought
it's very easy.
It could be that, or they thought that, yeah, we want you to do it in this way. We want you to come here, figure out you don't have the thing, and then go off and go get the ability. Or you should have had the ability before.
You said this was one of the first things that you do as the character?
No, it's not. It's not one of the first things you do. I guess for me. Okay, here's the thing. We can probably give them some slack because they're probably expecting you to have gone and ran around as this character, explored, played and stuff, instead of just focus the story. So, I guess truthfully, yeah, that probably was just my problem. But for people who went...
It depends, because you can only expect the players to run around and do side quest stuff to a point. You can't expect them to do all of them. You cannot expect them to even do most of them. So you said level 30 is what was required for this?
Yeah, you need to get like 30
how
experience.
How far into the game would this have been?
Oh well, when I say level 30, you need to go to at least 6 different skill point people that will get you up there. But you still need to run around the map to find them. That's not really too bad.
How many skill point people are there up to that point?
I'm not sure how many skill point people there are in total for each character. There's probably enough to get them up to all their skills, and they give you around 5 levels per skill point person. At that point...
Up to the point of the game where you run into the impossible jump.
Do you mean of like, do they appear throughout the time, or are they already there? I'm getting confused.
I don't know anything about this game.
Well, the skill point people, they're always here. They're always available.
Yes, okay.
You can always find them. You could get all these skills probably right off the bat. And never have
so all the skill point people, you can launch the game for the first time, and you can go bum rush all of them immediately. That's what you're saying.
For this update, which you can only go into the update area at the end of the game, and it doesn't affect the main game at all.
So the update has a prerequisite of beating the game. So you have all the areas unlocked, and then you can just teleport to all these guys.
You can't teleport to them. Okay. So here's how it's structured. The update goes like this. This is the main. This is the main end of the game. The base game end. You still go through this area, this entire map here, in the update, but it is changed for the 3 playable characters and Sonic to go through their own individual
things. This is the area that we need to focus on then. This area alone. How many skill point people are there for Tails in this area?
That I would have. See, I went through. I think I started around here. I probably went around this whole area looking for things for Tails to get the 6. And I don't know if there's any more.
Okay, so you looked at about 1/3 of the map and you got 6.
Yes. enough to get me his,
Okay.
in total, his wrench attack.
That is the info I need to know. That sounds reasonable. Assuming that the other 2/3 of the map also have around 6, at least.
Yeah, I definitely saw an extra one as I was going through.
Yeah. An extra 1 is not like that, you know, big of it. That's not a lot. Like if you definitely want with side quests and stuff, you definitely want the player to really, if you're requiring side quests, require like 1/3 max. Like don't require half, don't require all of your side quests because they're side quests.
Yeah.
They're optional objectives. You do not have to get all of these abilities.
I gotta remember that I was very pissed off and angry during the time. And so, when I think about it now, this trouble only relates to people who are hard focusing the story and are not playing as the characters, exploring anything, seeing what they have to offer, or anything. Just full on doing the story. And I was part of that whole little regime there.
I will say that it's not bad. This is not bad design. I have no idea. This is not bad design, but a player should not be punished by doing only what is required.
Yeah.
A player should never be punished for doing only what is required. I definitely do believe it should have been maybe a little bit more lenient here. Is this an ability that was required to beat the game?
This ability, I think it is required, yeah, because I did not see any other way of getting by without this ability.
What, huh? Sure, I guess. Yeah. Okay, alright. So the ability that you get at the end of the impossible jump is required by the game.
Yeah, it is what you need to buy to make that whole jump. Because you don't have it,
I don't think that's what I'm talking about. This impossible jump that we're talking about. What do you get at the end of this jump?
What you get at the end of this jump is the progression of the story.
Okay, so this jump is a required jump. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so this jump is a required jump. Yeah, a player doing only what is required should not be punished. In fact, given the fact that this jump exists as a requirement, there should have been a preliminary quest directly before this that required the player to go and find 6 of these guys. And prompted the player to do exactly such to get these upgrades.
Yeah.
And the game should absolutely prompt the player to do that with a required step of the quest directly before this one. That is absolutely the fault of the development and design team, not you. I can guarantee that this is not any fault of you as a player. It is not any fault of you being a bad player. This is absolutely a fault of a poorly planned quest system.
Yeah.
It was not entirely thought out. You go through, you make the quests, you pop them together, and you string them in the line, and you missed something. You missed a step, and that is absolutely what it seems like has happened. Is they've missed the crucial step of prompting the player to do this optional quest, and instead they just expect any player to do the optional quests, regardless of their optionality.
I think is, yeah, for Sonic, he can get to whatever he needs to, which I guess, yeah, he doesn't need anything specific. He can get to whatever he needs to when it is time for him to get to it. Same thing for Amy, same thing for Knuckles, the other playable characters. But Tails is the only one that you have to buy something for.
Again? Yeah, that again is just, it's probably a byproduct of we made Tails last and we kind of ran out of time.
I mean, it's like, I don't think there can be an excuse that he is like trying to not be a scared little boy anymore.
No, there's no real excuse, especially if you're talking about these playable characters. They should all follow the same playable formula. Especially if you're having, 3 optional choices of these playable characters, there should not be an advantage or disadvantage of picking one or the other. However, given the fact that of the neglectment towards Tails, there is a clear advantage for picking any character other than Tails.
And you do have to put, it is mandatory to play as him at that time.
Oh, really? It's mandatory to play as Tails?
Yes, you are made to play as Tails at that time because it is his objective.
Quite interesting.
And again, none of the other characters have to deal with that trouble. They can get to their objectives very easy.
Yeah, there is no real excuse that Tails had to get this awkward system put in place for him. Like, yeah, it definitely feels like we got all this stuff done for Tails, and we have like a couple things left on the to-do list, but we're not going to be able to finish the rest of this update if otherwise. So, we're just gonna do a quick patch and hopefully people don't notice.
Because through the time that they were getting this done, doing the new ending and everything, they were also, of course, updating the game normally with different, like, little modes you can do, like little new challenges, little arcade mode, do all the levels again, get a little jukebox put into the game, get some costumes, things like that. So I'm sure the team must have been a bit split.
Yeah, you would definitely have a split team, but the updates that you're talking about right now, that would be a much smaller team. You would definitely have a split team, yes, but it would be a much smaller team. Of course, when you're talking about the costumes, however, you would have a lot of your artists working on that smaller development team, though. And depending on how, I doubt the new update that we currently just got has a lot of new art assets.
Not really. I don't think anything that came in the update is that new except for the very specific trials that Sonic had to undergo.
Art assets.
Well, art. There's art around there.
Okay. I mean, I'm asking because I don't know if those trials have individual, like, unique assets.
No, because only one trial room is used. So
is the one trial room a unique asset to the update,
yes.
or has it been in the game?
It is unique to the update.
That's what I was asking.
And they also did make completely new levels like these for Sonic to go through.
Completely? Now you say completely. Are you saying that the assets? Yeah, okay, but the assets that make them up. This style are these assets seen previously in the game? Not the level in its entirety. The individual pieces and parts that make up this level.
I'm gonna go off my own thought that these levels are. I don't think there's gonna be anything very unique to them, other than being a different level. I don't think anything is probably very different in there.
Visually similar to other levels in the game.
Yeah, that's what I think they are.
Okay. If true, then yeah, you would have most of your art team working on the costumes, all those different costumes, and then you would have a smaller art team working on this update here, because it doesn't require there's not a lot of assets. In fact, even the costume update actually could have been a byproduct of this update even existing, as there's not a lot of art assets needed, and the company already, has artists that they pay, and they're going to pay anyways to work on this project, and they don't have, a lot of work to fill out their time. So might as well give them something else to do and give them a bunch of costumes.
Yeah, and the costumes...
I wouldn't be surprised if the costumes actually was a byproduct of this update being planned.
Yeah, we only got like a few costumes, and they're not even anything like heavy.
Oh yeah,
like,
no.
The best that the biggest change of a costume that we got was just literally Monster Hunter Rathalos armor on Sonic. And that was the biggest thing. Other than that, he got a birthday hat on his head, or he was wearing a little Santa outfit. Hardly even much of a Santa outfit. It was just a red jacket open at the front.
Yeah, I will absolutely say those might not seem like large changes and outfits. However, when it comes to the main character, the playable character, absolute utmost care is taking place.
And they do go in cutscenes as well. Certain cutscenes,
oh,
not all.
Shit. That actually then completely depends on how they dealt with cutscenes prior then. Because if they planned for costumes, then they would be just fine.
The DLC, I will tell you, does not have the costumes in cutscenes, I believe.
The DLC really?
Yeah.
Now that is interesting, because that means that the main game has, the main game has one of two cutscene types. And it's either a dynamic cutscene, which happens actually in the game, and it runs through the animations of the cutscene with the camera focus and whatnot. Or it has a different rendered cutscene for each cutscene per outfit. It completely depends on how the game was dealt with the first time. But the fact that you say that the DLC is pre-rendered cutscenes only is wild.
Yeah. Because the friends, they were supposed to have party hats on their heads, but they didn't. Sonic didn't have anything on him. I don't know,
Honestly,
maybe it could have been my game glitched, and maybe they do have the costumes and cutscenes.
No, your game is not going to glitch like that. Your game is not going to glitch like that. A change like that happens deliberately in the game's code. It does not happen accidentally. Now, what this probably means, and what I can gather here is, when they first made the game, they made it right. The game was probably at first, in its core gameplay at original release, what was probably dynamic cutscenes actually taking place within the game.
Yeah, the weather
Which
could
is
be
how
different.
you should go about this, especially if you plan on outfits for the characters.
Yeah.
However, it's faster and easier to make pre-rendered cutscenes. And if they were rushing a lot of the DLC, they probably cut a corner on pre-rendered cutscenes. It wouldn't be that big of a deal, and would definitely be an easy one to cut. As not a lot of people would honestly really care that much about the fact that you can't see your party hat in a cutscene.
Yeah.
It's common practice in a lot of games to do that, and so they wouldn't get any grief about it at all. It's a very safe decision for them to make. But everything definitely is telling the story that they were running out of time and they cut corners where they could.
Yeah, I can see that.
It doesn't seem like they realized the amount of work that they needed to do in the short period of time that they've had at the initial start of the Sprint project, Project Sprint. It definitely seems like they got a decent way through, maybe like even 2/3 of the way through even. Before they realized, oh shit, that due date's coming soon, and Sega wants me to do something, and I don't have a full update yet.
They actually didn't have a, if I remember correctly, they did not have a release date for this planned?
Public release date or private release date?
It could have been a private
I
release
can
date.
100% tell you that even if a public release date isn't out, a private release date is pressured onto the developers and designers. Mainly by the shareholders and the product owner.
I see.
Especially if you talk about big AAA companies, they have a set dates that they need to hit.
Yeah, a lot of us thought this was going to come out in November.
Yeah. But it came out around here September. Which is the... That is the time period that large AAA companies set their updates for. And their releases for is September. And they do that because people are going to get the game. And then as soon as they get the game, they're going to go to school. And then when they go to school, they just got this new game. I want to talk to all my new friends about this game I just got. And then they're going to get that game for Christmas.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I can probably tell you that the company probably pressured the designers and the developers to get this released by September.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
And they either, A, the designers and developers didn't realize how big the project was until it was, like, way too late, or B, the company spraying on them, like, 2/3 of the way through the project, being like, hey, this has got to be done by September. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it's probably much more likely that the latter is what happened, rather than the designers and developers didn't plan well. They probably planned great. They probably did their job great. But I am honestly willing to bet that it was absolutely the decisions of the company that pressured the designers and developers into releasing the updates probably about 2 months before it was ready. So if the game did have a November release, the update probably would have been a lot smoother and more polished and done.
Yeah.
And a lot of the main issues that people are having with the update, non-existent.
I don't think there is any other things that I am missing with all this.
No, no. I do appreciate this nice little,
yeah, I've given you a little interesting thing to find out and talk about.
I'm trying to think of words actually now. I've run out of words in my English dictionary.
Oh no.
Bro, what the fuck was that?
It was a bad move.
Holy shit.
Just like this is a bad move.
Bro.
See, this is my problem when I play Sonic games. Because sometimes, you know me, when I get close to the edge of a platform, I immediately lose all thought and just freak out.
Oh, fair enough. Oh, you would love the current Quota Zen challenge.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you have to cross the bridge and the bridge encounter while it's disappearing on you.
Nice.
Yeah, you gotta get real close to the edge and freak out.
Sounds like fun.
Oh yeah, it's actually really easy. It takes a while, but it's not bad. It is definitely more of a survival challenge than it is can you cross the bridge in time challenge.
Yeah.
Because it's on master mode, and you've just got to make sure that you can live long enough in master mode.
Either way, with how the update had gone, I still got through it fine. I persevered. I beat it, and I was satisfied with beating it. Was the main thing because of how difficult it was.
But were you as satisfied as you could have been?
No. I was actually excited for this for a long time and was upset with how difficult it was.
And a lot of that frustration does take out of a player's end goal satisfaction.
Here's how the dog thing went down.
Oh, is this it? Is these the dogs?
I don't have to move. I'm not moving.
You don't? Okay, so that is not a bug.
Yeah, so that's just me being dumb.
Okay, fair enough. Okay.
And the only thing the challenge changes is that they get up very fast. You can only kill one in the challenge per circle. But again, all you gotta do is sit there. You don't gotta move. Okay, that was just me.
That's not engaging.
Well, it didn't. Okay, no. Actually, that's the problem with it. You don't have to move, but you do need to reactivate the parry. You can't just continuously hold it. After he does this, you do need to redo it. Because, yeah. We know. Because I press it again right after, and he's putting his arm back. I don't get it. I really can't tell if
I would need to see this in action. If in action he puts his arm back, but then you get hit, I would definitely call that the bug. Like, yeah, we would need to see that in action because a lot different things can happen when you're just hitting that parry button with nothing to parry, versus you're actually doing the parry. Different things can happen. It could be the fact that even after you do a successful parry, there's a very short can you go back and hit the parry button again cooldown that you could be running into that you don't know exists.
Probably.
But yeah, the dogs need a rework. They really do. They need a complete rework. Well, maybe not a complete rework, but they need a rework. They need something else added to them.
Zach said make it harder.
It does. It absolutely does. Out of all the problems, you have one section that is too easy. It is not engaging for the player.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I wouldn't mind it to have been a bit harder. It was just very easy.
Yeah. Like up one little notch is all it really needs. What are you doing?
I gotta get that red
Bro,
stuff.
stop trying backward.
They put an invisible wall. They actually don't let you go back.
Oh, you can't go back into the camera. Once the camera moves, it's done.
Wow.
Once the camera moves, it's done, really.
Damn. Well, fuck me.
I mean, at this point, you might as well make this an auto-scroller.
Might as well.
Dude, this might as well be an auto-scroller. If you can't move the camera back.
But yeah, that was the whole thing with Update 3 and people just being upset about it, and some people like me being like, it was alright.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, hey, at least it was a happy ending, everyone's alive.
Oh shit, happy ending?
Always like a happy ending. Could not see.
Man went through the fucking sign!
Whee!
You didn't care about the sign's physical existence?
That's right. Sonic the Hedgehog says that that's no good.
Damn.
Well, now I need to get the rings. Unless I'm probably good at this point. I would have to hope so. Yep, I can get the last one.
One phase where when the dog can peek his little head out and then do the dash towards you, where you can parry it.
Actually, it would have made sense if they tried to have the dog actually, they have that peek feature where they're about to come run out, but it would have been something a little bit to make it harder if the dog would peek, but then go back in, and another one would run out without peeking.
Well, I would say, use that peek to give the dogs two different expressions, or something to differentiate that two different things can happen. They give the peek, and then they give one signal where they're gonna rush through and you parry them. And then they do the peek, and they give a different signal where they're gonna rush through and you can't parry them and you gotta dodge.
Yeah, that would have been more interesting where you have to get out.
That would have been much more engaging and a much nicer challenge. Like, that's not too bad, but it is definitely more engaging. Like I am now required to move.
Yeah.
And heck, maybe we do even put in the idea of we peek the head in, but we come from somewhere else.
Yeah.
I don't know how much that really changes it, but I mean, it does increase your reaction time to the dodge portion of it. Where you gotta be ready to dodge from any angle.
That do make the sense.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I brought it to your attention so I could talk to you about something interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyways, we should make this a podcast. We just talk about game shit like this.
Well, thankfully, we did it during the time while I was recording it all.
Oh, for once?
Well, I was recording because, I mean, it was at the best time because I'm on the PS4 version of the game. I finished the update on the PS5 version, and I'm doing the PS4 version because, well, I have to catch up on trophies. And I haven't, and this is an area that I haven't done, so I was like, fuck it. I'll just beat the game on two different versions.
Nice.
And then transfer the save over and get the trophies. And so, yeah, that's pretty much what I'm up to right here.
Nice.
Gimme. So yeah, while we were talking about that whole thing, I was indeed recording it all.
Nice. So anyways, when they come out and say that the update was rushed a little bit,
we know who was right.
Like it definitely has the signs of like they had lots of time, they were good, they did the right things, they designed things good, they designed things right, they made things great, and then honestly, yeah, like towards the end, 2/3 of the way through, we got 1/3 left of the game left. We ran out of time.
Yeah.
And we got to cut a few corners and save 2 months of time.
Yeah.
Like it definitely tells that exact story.
And then they also did have another side note is they did have little side stories where you could just talk to characters for just a quick moment. They also had to do that. And put other challenges in that would open up the map. Like open up the map. Yeah. It's I don't think there was too much to do. I mean, the characters don't really do anything when they're talking to each other either. They're just standing there doing like the few animations that they do.
Yeah.
If any.
Oh damn. Yeah, that's not that uncommon to do, especially from like a story narrative point of it. Like, I can see it being there to please the story writing team. 'Cause every night I will save your life.